Welcome to Serendipity Yoga, where the focus of today's video is going to be movement. Whether you choose to use this movement at the beginning of the day, at lunchtime, or in that mid-afternoon slump, this is the movement to bring some life back into your day so that you have energy stores to carry on with those things that you want to do after your workday is finished. So let's start off standing comfortably on the mat. Feet are about hip distance apart, toes are pointing forward. Finding that spot on your mat where you feel comfortable, not worrying about what your posture looks like, but instead finding that spot where you feel balanced and where you feel even. And then allowing the shoulders to start to float down a little bit away from the ears. Arms dangling down, hands are open and relaxed. With an exhale, perhaps starting to float the chin down toward the chest, just inviting some length to the back of the neck, allowing those muscles around the neck and the spine to start to lengthen and soften. Perhaps softening or closing your eyes. I know this sounds counterintuitive to bringing energy into the day, but what we're allowing this to do is to draw the world in a little bit closer and a little bit tighter to where you are on your mat. So letting go of those distractions, drawing your attention to you. Perhaps a quick scan through the body from the top of the head down to the tips of the toes, just to check in to notice how your body is feeling. To find those spots where you feel strong, to find those spots where you might feel a little tight or tired. Now, we're not trying to change anything, but instead creating that awareness so that as we move through this practice together, you might decide to be kind, gentle with your body, perhaps adding in a layer or two of challenge. And as you scan through the body and do that little inventory, once you've made it down to the tips of the toes, just kind of placing that inventory of that scan to the side, something that you can refer back to once we start moving. And now let's start to draw the attention to the breath. Just your natural flow of breath as it gracefully enters and exits your body. Just letting it happen, letting it be. Noticing what this breath feels like within your body. Now, because this is your natural flow of breath, you might not feel much of a sensation within the body because this is what you're used to. But now let's start to make that inhalation a little bit longer, a little bit deeper, and that exhalation just as long or even longer. Noticing how this breath now feels within the body. Now you might be thinking, how do I know if my exhale is longer than my inhale? What you can do is you can start to count. Count as you inhale and fill your lungs. See what number you count to as you come to that full inhale. And then on the exhale, starting that count again to see if you can make your exhale 1 or 2 beats longer than your inhale. And as you breathe with this longer, more nourishing breath, taking a pause to notice what that now feels like within the body. You might find that with your inhale that you stand up a little bit taller. You might feel your chest expand because of that inhale. And on the exhale, I hope you can feel a sense of softness or release. And within this practice, really focusing on your exhale, almost pressing that air out of the body. And with that exhale, I hope with it, as it leaves the body, it's taking anything else that isn't serving you today. Thoughts, feelings, sensations within the body. So let's stay here with this breath and we'll hold for 5 more rounds of breath. Let's take one more. And then after that last exhale, allow the breath to come back to its natural rhythm and flow. Let's start to invite some movement into our practice today now that we're centered and we're grounded on the mat, checking that the feet are hip distance apart, toes pointing forward. With an inhale, let's sweep the arms out to the sides and up toward the ceiling, reaching tall, palms coming together. And exhaling, hands to heart center. Let's continue with these quarter sun salutations. Inhaling, sweeping the arms out and up, reaching tall, palms coming together. And exhaling, hands to heart center. If the neck says it's okay, perhaps with your next inhale, taking the gaze up toward the hands. And on the exhale, following the hands back down into the heart. Inhaling, sweeping the arms out and up. And exhaling, hands to the heart. Let's do 3 more of these quarter sun salutations, moving with your breath. And after that last one, we're going to meet back standing with hands at heart center. With your next inhale, let's sweep the arms out to the sides and up toward the ceiling. We'll take a left hand around the right wrist. And with an exhale, hinging at the waist, let's lean over toward the left side of your mat, trying to keep your weight even in both feet, hopefully feeling a stretch through the right side of your body. With an inhale, we'll come back up tall, crown of the head toward the ceiling. Let's switch out the hands, right hand around the left wrist. Exhaling, hinging at the waist toward the right side of your mat. You don't have to come down far, just finding your sensation of stretch. Inhaling, hands back up to center, palms coming together, and we'll exhale, hands to the heart. Inhaling, let's sweep the arms out and up, and this time on the exhale, let's float the hands behind the back. We'll take left hand around the right wrist. With an inhale, we're going to stand tall, crown of the head toward the ceiling. Exhale, floating the left ear toward the left shoulder. Maybe finding a sensation of stretch through the right side of your neck. Let's hold here for one more full round of breath. Using the power of your inhale to draw the head back up to center. And this time on the exhale, let's switch out the hands behind the back. We'll take right hand around the left wrist. Inhaling tall, crown of the head toward the ceiling. And on the exhale, let's float the right ear toward the right shoulder. Maybe now finding a stretch through the left side of your neck. With your next inhale, drawing the head back up to center. And on the exhale, let's release the hands from behind the back. We'll let the arms float forward, hanging down beside the hips, and maybe shake that out a little bit, releasing that tension that we've just created within the shoulders. Checking that the feet are hip distance apart. Inhaling, let's sweep the arms out and up. And on the exhale, let's hinge at the waist and we'll fold. Fingertips or palms coming down toward your mat. As you fold though, being kind to your low back, just coming down to wherever your forward fold is. Relaxing your neck, allowing the head to dangle down toward the mat. Inhaling, let's lift up toward a flat back, maybe bringing your palms to your shins. Back is flat, crown of the head, forward toward the top of your mat. And with an exhale, let's fold. Pressing the feet into the mat, a little bend in the knees. Let's inhale to standing, sweeping the arms out and up, palms coming together. And exhaling, hands to heart center. With an inhale, let's sweep the arms out and up, reaching tall. Exhale, hinging at the waist, forward fold. Fingertips or palms coming down toward your mat. Inhaling, lifting up to that flat back, palms to shins. And with an exhale, let's fold. Inhaling to standing, sweeping the arms out and up, palms coming together. And exhaling, hands to heart center. Let's do that one more time. Inhaling and exhaling as we fold. Inhaling, lifting to that flat back, and on the exhale, we'll fold. Inhaling to standing, sweeping the arms out and up, palms coming together, and exhaling, hands to heart center. If you've been sitting a lot today, this next pose is for you. Inhaling, sweeping the arms out and up. Exhaling, hands behind the back. Let's interlace the fingers behind the back or holding on to the opposite wrists. We're going to start to draw those hands down toward the mat behind you. So you might already feel a sense of opening through the chest. With your next inhale, let's open up through the chest. We'll draw the shoulder blades closer together on the back. Perhaps you find that your gaze starts to lift a little bit automatically. You might find you're looking up to that spot where the wall and ceiling meet. As long as that's comfortable on your neck, please feel free to stay there. You might find that your gaze has taken it right up toward the ceiling. And if you find any discomfort in the neck as you're looking up that high, perhaps softening your gaze and lower your chin down until it's parallel to the floor. We never want to add any tension into the neck, and the head's heavy. So we're holding in this stretch, opening up through the chest. As I said, if you've been sitting a lot today, this might be your pose. So if you have your gaze lifted, I invite you to hold it there for one more inhale. And with an exhale, slowly lowering the chin down until it's parallel to the floor. With an inhale, let's roll the shoulders up just a little bit. Exhaling, releasing the hands or the wrists. Let's bring the arms forward again, hanging down by the hips. And let's shake that out. And then with an inhale, let's sweep the arms out and up, reaching tall. On the exhale, let's twist open toward the left. We'll start to reach the right hand forward toward the top of your mat. And we'll draw that left hand back toward the back of your mat. Opening up through the chest and trying to keep your hips even as much as they can be toward the top of your mat. With an inhale, let's sweep the arms back, up, overhead, reaching tall. Shoulders are over the hips. And with an exhale, we'll twist open toward the right. Left hand reaching forward, right hand pulling behind toward the back of your mat. Inhaling, sweeping the arms up overhead, palms coming together. And exhaling, hands to heart center. So now let's put that all together. We'll do a little bit of a flow. Inhaling, sweeping the arms up, palms coming together. Exhaling, hands to heart center. From here, moving into a mini sun salutation. Inhaling the arms out and up, reaching tall. Exhale, hinging at the waist, forward bend. Fingertips or palms coming down toward your mat. Inhaling, lifting up toward that flat back, perhaps bringing your palms to the shins. And on the exhale, let's fold. Inhaling to standing, sweeping the arms out and up, reaching toward the ceiling. Left hand around the right wrist. Exhale, hinging at the waist toward the left side of your mat. Inhaling, coming back up tall, right hand around the left wrist. Exhaling, hinging at the waist toward the right. Inhaling, tall, palms coming together. Exhaling, hands to heart center. With an inhale, let's sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, twisting open toward the left, right hand reaching forward, left hand pulling behind toward the back of your mat. And with an inhale, sweeping the arms back up overhead, shoulders over the hips. Exhaling, twisting open toward the right, left hand reaching forward, right hand pulling behind. Inhaling, sweeping arms back up overhead, shoulders over hips. Exhale, let's hinge at the waist and fold. Fingertips or palms coming down toward your mat. Inhaling, lifting up to that flat back, crown of the head forward. On the exhale, we'll fold. Fingertips or palms toward the mat and relaxing your neck. Let's press the feet into the mat, a little bend in the knees, and with an inhale, we'll stand, sweeping the arms out and up. Maybe reaching the tallest you have so far. And exhaling, hands to heart center. And let's keep hands at heart center. And today, as we come to the end of this shorter practice to rejuvenate your day, I invite you to take a moment to send gratitude inward, to thank yourself for making this time for you. Please accept my gratitude. I thank you so much for joining me, and I thank you for your energy. Namaste.